Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to end of day update. You can see these lines, green lines are the buy zones and red lines are the sell zones, or you can say red lines are the short zone and we cover on green line. And if you buy from green line, we will sell at red line. Okay. And this morning I released a pre-market video. It's released for public. You can go and watch already this morning. We were here around between first and second red line. These are standard deviations, and we were here. I was telling everybody at minimum we should expect a dump to white line, which is neutral line, and look exactly, but that's what we got. You can see we had easy 0.53% short position, and then easily you could have bought here, and then we would have made easily from here another 0.48%. So 1% profit, same thing. And you can see here also S&P, this is NASDAQ 100. I released this video, you can watch again. It was here 9 o'clock. I said we can go to one neutral line, almost 0.82%. And if you bought from neutral line to again to the sell zone, around 0.7%. Okay, so almost 1.5% profits on NASDAQ. Easy trades here, even Bitcoin. You can see here very nicely we came from buy zone to sell zone, buy zone to sell zone, then sell zone to buy zone. We just keep dumping between these zones, all right? And if you want to know about these, you can subscribe to my channel. Link is in the description. And there's also a free Discord group you can join, and you can message me directly if you want to know. I will be releasing these pre-market videos to subscribers only. If you want to join, it's like $6 a month. One trade can make you for the whole year. It's very cheaply priced. All right, so let's go to daily chart and see where we go from here. Let's get our indicator on. So you can see this is daily chart. Let's go with Bitcoin and let me show you Bitcoin futures. So Bitcoin futures, there is a gap here. There's a gap around, let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like that gap is still not filled, and I have to mark that gap. So let me go here. You can see this gap on 1 hour chart, this gap. This was Sunday night. Gapped up around 34, almost 35K, still not filled. So we're going to leave that gap. So that gap will definitely fill anytime now, around 34,935. And then there's another gap below it, 34,165. Then there are also a few other gaps. If I move this slightly higher, there's this gap here around 29,760, 26,305, and 2160. All these gaps will be filled. I just don't know when. So I am expecting a little bit of pullback. So first the gap is given 34,935. Second gap is also possible, 34,165. And then if for some reason market decides to go lower, then this other gap around 29,760, that's also possible. But for now, I'm looking for at least first these two gaps to fill before we can go again. And then again from here to end of the year, my target is around 42K. So look for a little bit more dip, and if you can buy on that dip from where we are now, Bitcoin futures, to that target is almost 20% away. All right, so keep that in mind. Ethereum also, let me show you something else on Bitcoin futures. Give me a second. You can see this cycle low is also coming here around end of November. So this could go a little bit down with this cycle low, and then that will put some down pressure on Bitcoin, and then we will go higher. All right. Ethereum, you can see here, same thing. Let me bring back these moving averages. You can see Ethereum is holding nicely above all the moving averages, trying to form a bull trend. All moving averages are pointing to the top side. My next target is at around $2,000, but it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gets a little bit more drop, that's going to affect Ethereum as well. All right. And let's quickly go to VIX and traditional market. So VIX is flat today. I'm expecting a little bit more dump. You can see the cycle low is coming early December, so looking for more dump on VIX. S&P 500, again, the good news is it closed above this red line, which is 50 daily SMA, 2 days in a row. Let me show you SPY, which is the cash index. You can see very good news. We have multiple gaps to the downside, but we now we closed above 2 days. So we really need to close above this 50 daily SMA line, red line, to be bullish. We could get a little bit of pullback to fill this gap before we go higher. Let's show you triple Qs. You can see triple Qs right on resistance. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tag of resistance. Again, good news. We closed above this red line 2 days in a row, and all lines are sloping to the upward pressure, so that's like a good bull trend, we call it. So all of them are pointing upwards direction. We really need to break this resistance right where we closed. So if for tomorrow, if we close above this, then that means we are going higher to fill this gap, and if not, then we could get a pullback to fill some of these gaps to the bottom. Green lines are gaps to the bottom and red lines are gap to the top. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we'll need some pullback before we go higher. We'll see. Or if there's gonna be any news tomorrow, that could help this to go and boom. Gold, exactly following what I was predicting. Little bit of weakness and looking for it to back test around 1950 before we can go higher. Silver, same thing. Looking for it to again, it's failing. Silver is failing this resistance, not able to close above that. We could get a little bit of pullback. You can see here around 22.3 or 4. So if we get a little bit pullback, that will be a good area to basically buy again. Natural gas down almost 5% today. Gap down. This gap will be filled definitely, but still it's a higher low. You can see here this low, which was here Monday 30th October. This low is still intact. If we get new low compared to this low, then that means we might be coming back to this trend line. So look to buy the dip on natural gas so far. Crude oil consolidating. Following my projection, you can see nothing change. I just left it here, looking for it to fill around $74. Dollar index also new low, so any bouncers should be looking to short now. So the new path on dollar index. By the way, this is exactly what I was thinking, and I told you way before. You can see the cycle lows coming here around January, so I think we're gonna go lower until January. Already covered Bitcoin. Apple, very good news on Apple. We broke this resistance. Now the only thing we need to do is stay above this white trend line 2 days in a row. So if Apple stays above this, that's bullish, and we might be looking for filling up these upper gaps. Tesla, flat. It was up almost 3% at one point and then closed. The good news is it closed right above this 200 SMA line, this dark blue line. So from here we can still bounce. Netflix, looking solid. Just trying its best. So next target is 475. Microsoft also looking good, looking for new highs, look like. So yeah, so the sky is the limit on this. Google also 0.83%, looking for this gap to fill. Actually, you can see this gap is around $140. Meta, sky is the limit. I think there are two gaps around 357, 362. That's what they want to fill. Meta, Amazon. Let me go back to Amazon. Give me a second. Looks like some issues with the internet. There you go. Amazon is also looking good. Looking for this pullback. That did not happen. So maybe it wants to fill this gap first. Snowflakes was down heavily, gave back all the gains, but maybe it's waiting till earnings before it pushed back again. NVDA was good. Let's go to regular trading hours. This gap is filled, so you can delete this. Now there's another gap to the top. So looking for that gap to fill. AMD. Looking good. Nothing changed. Just consolidating. Looking for a push later on. Toronto Stock Exchange. Looking for gap fill before you go higher. Hang Seng Index. Looking good. Just back testing. This is live, I think. So just back testing this 50 daily SMA and the 50 daily EMA. So as long as it closes above that, everything is good. Let's quickly look at commodities. Copper by the dip. Palladium still struggling. Wait for it to close above 1140. Wheat consolidating in the buy zone. Corn in the buy zone. Soybeans bouncing from the buy zone. Sugar also bouncing, trying to make a new high, but that will be divergent high. So just be careful if you holding sugar. Good time to take profits, I think. And Dow Jones also looking like it wants to close above this resistance, just barely closed it. Let's see if tomorrow it can hold above this. IWM, Russell ETF, looking for rejection right where it should be, got rejected. Now let's see if it's going to come back down, fill this gap before we go higher. Let's see, that could be possible. Newmont Mine. Oh, that gap is filled. Very good. So you can delete this. Now I think it's ready to bounce. Now there's another gap here. I don't know if it's going to come all the way there. I don't know. Gold miners. This is gap here. Let's see if it wants to fill that gap before it go higher. XLK, new highs. Trying for new highs. Nothing changed. XLE, looking for gap fill. Healthcare, looking nice. 2 days in a row above this white trend line. So looking good. Utilities. Also just consolidating above all resistance before it can go higher. Industrials looks like very close to the gap fill. Maybe it will have a little bit more gap to fill and then go higher. Real estate sector. This gap came back to fill this gap, still not fully filled. Let's see. No, actually, yeah, a little bit still left. Let's see if it wants to fill that gap tomorrow before it can go higher. Financials gap fill before we go higher. KRE, recent bank ETF also gap fill before we go higher. Okay, guys, today that's it. And all the best. And hit the like button before you go out. Okay, bye.